super glue. Did you see that?
So how did they get it out?
Hey?
How did they detach it?
I really do. I think they have to cut the glass out and send it to me. It's a mess anyhow. But yeah, she glued herself to the front door, and then they smashed the windows. So it's like so that's why I showed on my manual, because they've had a whole number of corporate disasters throughout there.
Is that Waterloo?
I think Waterloo. That's right, yeah, Waterloo. So if we like Domino's Pizza, what is the process we have to go through before we put that in our portfolio? What's one of the things we will check? Begins with the word B.
Beta.
Beta. So anyone knows what Domino's Pizza Beta is? I don't, so let's check it out. Let's check out the beta on Domino's Pizza. Yeah, but Boeing, yeah, convenient, we'll look at that later. So I think this will have a higher beta because it's been a strong performance.
Very low.
56.8. No, it's not. No, it's not. So in the last 1 year, its beta's come back quite a bit. Okay.
So is it good? Is it low beta?
Yeah, because this means that it's a defensive stock, which means that when the Dow or the S&P falls, people are going to keep on eating pizza and they don't care. So it's one of the 4 stocks. Boom, inject it, eat it, music, entertainment. So yeah, this is a high beta, which is very good. So let's which is good for our cargo. Sorry, low beta. No beta. It's a high independent correlation. Let's get the phrase right. So in the last 1 year, if we look at it over 1 year, let's superimpose 1 year the S&P and Domino's Pizza. Okay. Yeah, or even the SPY stuff. Okay. Okay, so can everyone see the difference that in November when we had a huge sell-off in Domino's Pizza, went from 280 to 240, and this is running up beyond that price level, and this, yeah, so it's a very mixed picture. So it's got a low beta. I can see some of the relationships in there. Coming down into January, In February, when you had a huge sell-off, in February, there is something there for sure for a beta, but like you say, it's not super strong. It's 0.5. So every time the market moves up, Domino's only moves up half. So if this goes up 1%, this will go up 0.5% right now. That's what, on average, over a year. In the short term, that might not be the case. So like if we look at today, it's up today, the S&P is down today. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 good days. The market's had 3 flat days. So this is great. If you have a stock with a high beta in your portfolio, Domino's can balance it as a low beta. So if we're going to put in if we look at beta of Apple, for example, okay, 1.30, it's got a medium beta, so that could be a stock in the middle of your portfolio. And if you want a really high beta stock, I think a very strong high beta stock. We'd have to look at some of the consumer staples.
Something like Tesco, right?
Tesco, yeah. $188. Yeah, so say the tech sector.
sector or?
No, so yeah, so you can like you can try Tesco as well. On 117.
What's the average?
Apple,
What's the
Nvidia.
average beta Rakesh in the FTSE 100? Is there such thing?
But by definition, if you add up the index, then you should get a beta of 1.
One is average.
So, because 1 is the level. So when you're saying what is the average beta, meaning like if
I
you
mean,
look at all
if
the
you
individual
look at all
stocks,
the index.
they're all independent. So basically, but what I'm saying is that 1 is the level that matches the index, 1.5 side. But no, and it will change over time, all the time. I'll give you an example. When the market's going down, the beta is generally worse, or there's a stronger beta than when the market's going up. So that's one of the things.
Oh,
Yeah, that's yeah, because high. Yeah, and if you look at the chart of this AMD has been doing terrific.
the microchip company.
Yeah.
We use a swinger.
Sure, we can use yeah, we can do that too.
So you're saying that high beta we should keep away from?
No, I'm saying that in a balanced portfolio, you have some stocks with a low beta and some stocks with a high beta. So that when the market goes up, you benefit, and when the market's doing nothing, the company's doing well, you benefit. So Domino's Pizza is a good example of a low beta stock that, irrespective of what the market was doing, the last 7 years, it's just done very well.
If you buy at the wrong time, it doesn't help you though, does it?
It does in two ways, because even if you buy something at the wrong time, and it's a very good quality company, and your strategy is more, not a technical trade strategy, but more of a Warren Buffett strategy, then you can continue to buy that stock, even when the market's down, even when the market's up, because in 5 years' time, because you're a long-term buy and hold strategy, eventually the market will find the correct pricing for that stock. But if you buy that stock when it's very expensive from a fundamental perspective, or it has a high PE, then you're in trouble. So, yeah, anytime you buy something, and if you don't have a stop loss, and the market goes against you more than 10, 15, 20%, you start to get into trouble. So even with this strategy, you put a stock on, and you do everything right, but the market trades against you, you should take your stop loss and wait until another period in the market, because by that time will move forward, take a fresh look at the market and try again. The challenge happens when you think, I did all that analysis, we looked at Domino's Pizza, it looked great on here, it was trading up at 265, everything looked good, I bought it, and now it's trading at 210, and then you wait another 2 months and it's trading at 150. But it was pizza. Everyone keeps eating. Pizza's good. It's gonna come back. No. You bought it at 265 at a 10% stop loss, 26 points, 240. You're out. That's no questions asked. When it reaches 240, you have a stop in the market and don't touch it. Just let it go. Because it's not that you're wrong. You're not wrong or right in the market. As soon as you start saying, I'm wrong, I'm right in the market, you start to believe, to think that you can control the market. You don't have any control in the market. All you can control is where you put your stop loss. And you can control how much of a portfolio loss you're willing to make on every trade. So, and the market's going to do whatever it's going to do. So, if you make losses in one period, you have to wait probably another quarter until another event happens, and then try and trade it again. So we've got about 15 minutes left. Let's go through the final part of the defensive strategy. We're talking about defensive strategy and where to put your stop loss. So if we're going to look at Domino's again, if it's trading at 270, for example, when you look at it, where is the first place, without even looking at a chart or anything, what's the first level you can think, okay, it's 270, where am I going to put my stop loss? 250? And would you put it at 250 exactly? No, we'd put it where? 249, 248 and 3/4, something like that, or 249 and a quarter. Why? Because it might come back to 250. There's some call options at 250 because it's a big stock. Call options will be all the big numbers, all the big strike prices. psychologically people might say, oh, 250 is a good price to buy it, I'll buy it then. If it goes out to 250, I'll buy more Dominoes. So, slightly below that. Where's the next place? What are the technical things we can use to place our stop loss? What is the big moving average where we say that if the market falls below that, the 200-day moving average? So where's the 200-day moving average on this chart for Dominoes? It's the purple one, which is blue now. So it's already trading below it. So it's already trading below it, so it doesn't help us. But the shortest term to moving average is the red one, which is the... Okay, we can change this. Yeah, because I've put different parameters in the location. 10, 20, 22. Okay. So, right. So we're looking at the 20. The 20 is the closest at 252. So that's the next place. But it's below the 200, so which means it's still bearish. So based on going back 2 seminars ago, one of the rules I said is that we should always be looking to buy stocks when they're above their 200-period moving average, because below that they're bearish. So if we buy it now, we're buying it early, a little bit early, right? But as soon as it gets above gets to 270 and holds above 270, we're now in a technically bullish scenario. Just need one March print above 270.
Yeah, what
So-
basis then? Hour?
No, daily. Daily. And the reason for that is that on the next day, all of the long-term fund managers come in to sit on their desk and say, okay, what stocks have moved above their 200-period moving average? Let's say Domino's. Fundamentals good. Management have they made changes? Yes. They'll ask a few other questions. Technically, is it a high risk? No. Okay, let's start buying Domino's. We'll buy a little bit now, and then they'll say, okay, when it closes that gap at 280, we'll buy a little bit more. When it goes above 298, we'll buy a little bit more. And then when it goes above 300, we'll buy a little bit more. They'll keep on buying it as it goes up. They won't buy all at one level. Why? Because they also want to hedge their risk. They want to get in it too early. If it's going to go to 350, then they're willing to sacrifice the first 30 cents to get into that position slowly. So they've made a bit of profit, they'll add. They've made a bit of profit, they'll add. What do private investors do sometimes? Which is the opposite.
Average down.
Yeah, we'll go to 270. They'll buy some now today at 270 underneath the 200-period moving average, and they won't understand why it won't go above 270. And they'll think, okay, to get to 250, the 250 level Rakesh said is good, so I'm going to buy it at 250. Then they'll get to like 230, they'll buy a bit more at 230 because it's gone below the 230 level. They'll basically average loss in. Because it's psychologically easier to do that. Because you think, okay, if it goes up, then as soon as it goes up, I'll recoup my losses. It's your mind saying to you, okay, that makes logical sense. And the logic does exist, but there's one fundamental problem, is that the market pattern is against you. The market's falling. So you have to reverse that psychology and do it the other way around. So that's good. So where's the next place we can put our stop loss on Domino's? Where are other places we can look at to put stop loss? Where are the swing lows in this chart? 240. Everyone familiar with where the swing low is? So there's a couple of swing lows here, very nice. There's another swing low here, which is 230. So 240, 230. Okay, if I go to the right-hand side of the chart, what question will I ask? When is the last time the market was at 230? Was it 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? It's a good question, I don't know. So I'll pull the data on the chart by using this slider here. I'll pull the data out of the chart. Okay, so the last time it was at this price, I'll mark it on the chart, 230. I'll put a line in, a horizontal line on the chart, at 230. Okay, great. So, comes on to my last part of what I want to talk about. So, yeah, sure. That is a strategy, and it's a valid strategy. If, it's a very big if you're using a Warren Buffett type strategy, I mean you're going to hold it for 5 or 10 years. Well, then it doesn't make sense.
Only 9 months.
Then it doesn't make sense. because this is the trend we're seeing in the market. Why doesn't it make sense?
Yeah, but this, I don't buy it because it's going up. Performance does stop.
Yeah, so the question is, how far, at what point do we say that this is no longer interesting because it's no longer, there's two different things. There's a trend change and a correction. Right now, we're saying that Domino's, from what we're seeing here, is it going through a trend change or a correction, or is it muddled? For me, it's muddled. It started off doing a correction, and it came down here. It was quite a big correction, like when it went past this point here, this swing low here, it went from being a trend, a correction in the market, meaning profit taking. This part here said it's no longer profit taking. There's a problem, and it rallied up again and said here. And isn't it really amazing? Something that's really I always find really amazing that when a company has an announcement to say that they have a really bad quarter because the numbers are really bad, the market has already had a decent sell-off since the last quarter results. It's just fascinating. I always find.
So why is
So
it?
they
It's
need
always
Because they-
fascinating. No, I don't know. I'm saying it's fascinating.
Because
market really.
the
I don't know.
institutions-
But it's fascinating.
Why is it so just saying it's less than
I'm saying that when we look at the quarterly data,
Yeah,
we're in March here, right?
yeah.
In the February, call it March. So when was the last lot of data? No, if we go back 3 months, yeah?
January.
So skip 3 months, boom, 3 months, yeah. We're here. Isn't it funny that when the last set of data came out, there was a decent market sell-off, and then in January, when the market rallied, because this is when the market rallied, Domino's went up with the market. But I'm saying, isn't it? It's always funny that the market broke its swing low. It breaks its old swing low, goes back up towards the highs, and then they make an announcement, and the numbers aren't good. It's just always amazing.
Yeah.
There's another one coming, yeah.
But people need more pizzas in the springtime.
Yeah, maybe there's more pieces springtime. Well, yeah. But one thing that could be true is that maybe somebody is standing outside Domino's Pizzas counting how many pizzas there's. That's his strategy. He goes there every night, has a pizza. What's that?
What would be the reason behind it?
It could be that some people have better information than others.
I don't know, Rakesh, looking at my short on DAX, we are not going to get any dollars.
Yeah, we show the DAX, that's right.
Very short on the DAX for months.
Let's see, yeah, it's right, it's at the same price it was when we started, right?
Yeah,
Hasn't moved.
it's actually peaked up to a minus 100 euros. Now it's kind of halfway.
Yeah, so information, so there are lead indicators and lagging indicators. If you're, and this is a really good example, if you want to understand what a lead indicator is, if you go into Tesco's after Christmas or Sainsbury's and you speak to the manager, and you say to him, how was this Christmas? Oh, well, it was okay. Did you have to employ loads of people to stock the shelves that you weren't expecting? No, we had loads of people hanging around. It wasn't as busy as it was last year. And then you have to wait 3 months before they compile all the results from all the stores, and you'll find it here. But you can go in your local Tesco's or Sainsbury's and ask them every month, how's things going? Is it good, busier or less busy? Like, what's happening? And that's called a lead indicator. And there's people that do that in the market all the time. Why not? Because if you want to go to find out how well BAA, well, it's no longer, you have to trade the Spanish for OVL stock to look at it. But you can use lagging indicators everywhere. Cars, go down to your local showroom and say, oh, well, how many Fords did you sell this month? A little bit harder because it's a global company, but you can do that everywhere. We're coming up to a very important time. If we go to look at the S&P, or look at the DAX. Let's look at the DAX. We're trading the DAX. Let's look at the DAX. Okay, and look at it on the daily. And 2 years. So we
Let me just double check. So you want the usual?
yeah 10, 20. We could save that. Maybe save that as 10. That's all fine. That was all fine.
Are you fine with the blue or you want purple?
Red for 200 for you always. And that one green. And the 50 blue. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Perfect. That's
Should we do this yellow instead?
okay. All right. All good. And we can save that template. All right. Perfect. So we're looking at this. What happened in May in 2018? End of April, beginning of May. May now. What's coming up in the market? Not results. It's a cyclical trade. Happens every year. Sell in May
Buy
Go away.
until
September,
June.
October.
St. Ledger's Day. Sell in May, go away until St. Ledger's Day. What is St. Ledger's? Horse racing, yeah. Ah, I've got racing with that. I like horse racing.
Oh, right.
Horse racing. Why? Because all the rich people go away for the summer, all the stockbrokers, the market, and everyone. But they love horse racing, so they'll all come back from Spain, Bahamas, wherever they go. Tell me where they go. And then they'll come back, and they'll all come back for the St. Ledger's Day race, because it's a very important, the Grand National and St. Ledger's Day, two very important days.
What
in
is
the
it,
national
a
calendar.
derby or what is on the
A wonderful horse race,
No,
like the Grand
quite,
National. It's a horse
I
race.
don't quite get the name
Saint
of this Saint
Ledger's Day.
Ledgers.
We don't know this
So
horse race.
what
When
month
is
is
it?
that?
What's that?
What month? May?
What market is that?
No,
It's
No,
what
which month?
what month?
Yeah.
September.
Oh,
September.
Yeah. So basically, come back in August, and we should accept September. End of August. September.
5 months.
They miss in
You
derby.
can look at the
San
chart.
Ligio.
So if you look at the chart, so sell in May,
They missed derby
August,
on
September, August. So
French
we had a sell-off,
is
and
the
the
same.
sell-off went all through. Okay, the DAX.
Zero.
But does it affect the US market or?
Yeah, so basically, this is, the name for this is called an axiom. A-X-I-O-M. Which means it's a common phrase that's used in the financial markets. Whether it's true or not, nobody knows. But it's a common phrase that's used to describe the behavior of the market that happens sometimes. But not all the time, but enough times that you should remember it.
Some make
Because when it happens, it works like a dream. But when it doesn't happen, it confuses you completely. So it can be either way. But there are some symptoms that we can look for to see if the illness will come in May that we have to sell, right? So one of the symptoms is that we have a really good rally between January and May. Because then it makes sense that when we come to this period, people think, we made a lot of profit. Let's take some bank the profits, let's sell everything and go away for the summer and enjoy the summer. One to look at. The second one is to see, have we made a new high for the year? This year? Yeah.
No,
We-
really?
For this year we made a new high.
From January, yeah,
Yeah.
but not, it's still way behind.
Still we're behind, yeah, so it's not, but we posted some new highs. So like in, from December, we're making a new high for the year. Right now, it's a new high. If the high was here in March, and we're down here, weaker. Still there, but weaker. But in this case here, are we making it? So the question is a current question. In the month of May, or in the month of April, which we're in now, coming into May, are we making a new high for the year?
Yes.
Answer is yes. Right, so that's another tick. Are we above the 200-day moving average?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is the 200 period moving average trending upwards?
Yes.